Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to set mental health and mental well-being goals today to supersize and grow your business. You know, most business owners I work with have never even considered mental health or mental well-being as they're growing and building and supersizing their business. They haven't considered their own, much less the people in their organization. So I'm going to share a quick 5-step process of how to go about doing that, setting a goal. I'll share some examples of goals and one person's story so that you can see how quickly and easily you can do this for your organization and how you can do it today, right? We're doing one thing every day this year to be a better version of ourselves. We're doing one thing every day to supersize and grow our business, get a competitive advantage, and just generally be a better example in the world of business for other business owners that are in similar industries to us, and to give us more market share, things like that, things to grow and build our business. So it's super simple. We use the same processes for analyzing problems and challenges all the time. It can be a 4-step process. It can be a 5-step process. It can be a 90-step process if you so desire. But I say the older I get, the simpler we want it to be. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reflect deeply on our organization's current mental state. What is the current mental health or mental well-being state of our organization right now? And this might be tough to look at, but you probably see signs of it and you know what the situation is already. If you've never done anything to consider mental well-being or mental health in your organization, it's probably pretty easy to identify what needs to happen first and then next. To reflect, we just ask ourselves a few questions. We want to find out what's the current emotional, psychological, and cognitive well-being state of our organization and our organization's culture, because our culture is a clear, if we're willing to step back and look at it, indicator of what's really going on in our organization. People will tell you if you ask, if you're open and honest and authentic with them, but if you're not or haven't been up until this point, they're not going to tell you anything. You're going to have to figure it out by asking the right questions of the right people to see what's really going on. Ask yourself, does my organization feel and seem emotionally stable? Are our reactions to challenges and setbacks rational and problem solution versus problem focused? How do we as an organization manage stress and different situations that come up? Because they come up every day in our businesses. Do we have a process for doing that? Are our employees and the people that are building the business with me taking care of themselves? Are they sleeping well? Are they eating right? Are they getting some exercise? Are they motivated and focused on the tasks at hand and at the goals and objectives that we've set for ourselves as an organization? The answer to any of those is no. We got some work to do. We can use journaling, self-assessment tools, emotional tracking apps to gather insight about the collective organization or just about individuals in our organization. I always encourage everybody in my organization to become more self-aware and be on a journey of personal development and growth. Step 2 is to identify key stressors and negative patterns. Are there toxic relationships going on in our organization? Are there poor work-life boundaries going on in our organization? And this one, sometimes we got to look in the mirror and say, am I setting an example of not taking care of myself, of too much self-sacrifice, of too much hustle, of too much go, 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 and not enough? Okay, let's take a step back and figure out what our next actual step should be. Because I've been guilty of that in the past. Is there negative self-talk? Is there negative limiting beliefs popping up around our ability to solve problems, our ability to compete, our ability to do anything in the area of expertise that we're here to share? Is there any social isolation? Are there any people in our organization that are actually being socially isolated? And how can we bring them in with the rest of the organization? Step 3, clarify what well-being means to you. We did this first day of this month. You can go back and revisit that, or you can ask as a collective for my organization, for our organization, if you have a group working on this with you, is it peace of mind? Is it emotional resilience? Is it mental sharpness? Is it continuous improvement, creativity? Whatever it is for your organization. Is it ensuring that our customers have an awesome experience every time they interact with anyone in our organization? That's probably more about communication, but it comes and starts with an idea in our collective minds. Step 4, I'm going to highly recommend that you set a goal and use the SMART framework: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Why? Because that's the one that most everybody uses. It's simple, easy to remember, and it makes sure you cover all of the main things when you're setting a goal and objective. all the key elements that will help you actually be successful in achieving your goal and objective. So what are some examples of transformational mental well-being goals? And could you apply these to your business? Practicing mindfulness and meditation. Guess what? In some of my companies, we meditate at the beginning of each staff meeting. We practice mindfulness individually and sometimes collectively. Just being present with one another for a minute of calm and breathing before we dive into the staff meeting. Number 2, establish healthy sleep habits. It's kind of a personal thing, but you could have a sleep challenge at your company to encourage people to get 8 or whatever is appropriate for them hours of sleep each night and track and have a contest or a fun competition. I was telling my daughter the other day, we used to in corporate America have to do a safety meeting every single week. And they weren't predefined topics. You had to come up with the topics. You had to come up with the meeting. And actually we did a monthly. And we talked about safety almost every day in some way, shape, or form in manufacturing, but we had a monthly topic and meeting. And I joined an organization right out of college that was mostly people a couple of decades older than me that had worked for the company for 15 to 25 years and knew a whole lot more about this specific company than I did and the processes in manufacturing than I did. I learned quickly, but I still found that they found doing the safety meetings a complete waste of time, and mostly they didn't listen or participate. So I decided to make each month's topic some sort of game or challenge, and we did that, and it was super duper fun. People actually got engaged and enjoyed the topics that we were talking about and participated, and we ended up getting written up in the very large organization's company-wide newsletter because we took safety, which was in most people's minds, and turned into something that they were actually excited to have a team meeting about every month. 4, seek therapy or mental health coaching. Some organizations will actually bring mental health coaches in to coach people that are interested in learning about different tools that they can use to improve their mental health and their emotional stability, etc. Develop emotional regulation skills. Again, if you have a couple things in your toolbox so people aren't yelling and screaming at each other and can handle conflict and challenges in a positive way where everybody feels heard, that is always a good thing. Cultivate positive relationships. That's important in our organizations as well. And inevitably, there will be people that just don't like each other and don't get along, but that doesn't mean they can't work well together. It's called mutual respect. 7, engage in regular physical activity. A lot of workplaces have actually physical activity and gyms built into their locations, especially in manufacturing, we had that. And then 8, practice gratitude and daily journals. I think I talk about that a lot. But those are all things that you can do for your business and in your business with other people, as well as on an individual basis. So let's share one person's story and then we'll sign off for today. I'm going to share overwhelmed corporate executive or creative entrepreneur battling depression. Let's do this one. Another conversation I was having with my daughter the other day was about depression in the younger generations. Now, I'm old enough that depression to me wasn't even an option. Did I probably experience it at some point? But I decided, thank you, Tony Robbins, a long time ago, it wasn't even an option for me. I could feel it, acknowledge it, and then get out of it ASAP because I knew it was never going to serve me well. But our conversation was there are about 2 generations of folks nowadays that are coming up and into the workplace that have depression and are on medications for it. I honestly believe that there are more people medicated for depression right now than probably just about anything else. The problem with depression medications, in my humble opinion, is that they make people more depressed and they just exacerbate the cycle of depression. Anyway, just my opinion. So let's hear Lila's story. Lila is a 28-year-old designer and business owner. She faced frequent bouts of depression that hindered her creativity and productivity and were hindering her business growth and her ability to make a living. So she applied the process, the 5-step process. She reflected on emotional triggers and noticed social withdrawal during depressive episodes, and that was actually making her worse. She set mental well-being goals, including morning walks, creative journaling, and daily mood check-ins. She used a mood tracking app. She committed to seeing a therapist weekly, and implemented a structured work schedule with breaks so that she, even if she was feeling a little depressed, she would still go about the actions and the schedule that she had committed to herself so that she would limit the amount of time that she let herself be socially segregated or isolated, or that she let a triggered episode impact her. The results, Lila began experiencing more creative flow, improved client relationships, and significantly fewer depression episodes. Her goals helped her develop tools to navigate low moods with compassion and structure. So how do we go about putting this into our own life and our own business? Well, first, you decide you're going to do it. Then you do it. You go through the process either by yourself for your organization, or you ask some people to be involved in the process with you, which is way more powerful and actually it's a lot more fun when you're doing these things with other people than when you're just structuring it and doing it yourself. Because then it's just your stuff. And we tend to put our baggage into other buckets or other people's bags when we can do that. And we don't want to do that here. Celebrate small wins like everything else we do. Track your progress monthly and see what you're doing. If you don't do something 1 month, just say, hey, we didn't do anything this month. Let's get back on the horse this month. Adjust your goals as your needs evolve and change in your organization. And they will. All right, so curious, share in the comments below. Do you have mental health goals for your business? Do you have mental well-being goals for your business? Do you have an EAP, an employee program, to help them with physical and mental aspects of their job and life? Share in the comments below so we can learn from one another. If I can help you in any way or answer any questions, of course, all you have to do is ask. Let's have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.